Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Pinoy Step Podcast. And we are all ready and geared up for episode number 6. Ito ang ating podcast kung saan pinag-uusapan natin ang NBA with that Pinoy flair. My name is Anton Roxas. Christian Luanzon is here on the show. And we also have a very special guest. Kilalanin natin siya sa pagbabalik ng Pinoy Step Podcast.
From buzzer beaters to blockbuster trades, this is your front row seat to the NBA.
Here at Pinoy Step Podcast, we go deep into every play, every move, and the insider stories you won't hear anywhere else.
All the highlights, all the hot takes, walang mintis. This is the Pinoy Step Podcast, powered by the Arena Plus Sportsbook. Sama-sama sa arena.
Eto na po tayo, episode number 6. And paalala lang sa lahat ng mga nakikinig at nanunood, this episode is being recorded on April 28. So this is right after game number 4 of Minnesota and LA, right after game number 4 of New York and Detroit. So just to be clear to everybody watching, baka may mga games pa na hindi pa namin na pag-uusapan during the time that we release this episode. So with that said, let's proceed. Once again, my name is Anton Roxas. Christian Luanzon, Mr. Viral on TikTok, is back on the pod.
Unintentionally.
With the shades.
Gotta represent the Jordan. With the Oakleys. These are not the metals. Not the Mars, the 98 Mars.
Christian, you said Jordan, and this is a very special episode because for the first time on the Pinoy Step Podcast, we have a special guest, and I would like to describe this guy as an international hooper because he be balling everywhere, dito sa Pilipinas, all over Asia,
Hooray!
in the US. And also, he's a great ambassador for the sport, a businessman as well. Let's welcome to the show, Mr. Jordan Bartlett.
Oh, thank you, Anton. I appreciate you here, and I didn't know I was your first guest, so thank you guys for having me. I'm super blessed to be here, and I can't wait to talk hoops with you guys.
No, you know what they say? You don't forget the first.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun show. Huh?
But I just want to explain, Jordan, na dito sa Pinoy Step Podcast, kasi yung title pa lang, Pinoy Step. So alam naman natin kung gaano kasikat yung Pinoy Step ngayon. Sa episode na to, episode 6, at dito sa podcast, bawal mag-English. Okay?
Yes.
Yun lang bawal mag-English. So tignan natin kung maitatawid mo to.
Hindi pwede.
Di ko alam pag kaya ko yan. Kaya ko naman, pero nosebleed ako.
I'm sure proud na proud si Jen sa'yo ngayon.
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding, man. All right, Jordan, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing lately. I know you've been working on a lot of things. Kindly share sa lahat ng ating mga manonood at lahat ng mga nakikinig ngayon.
Yeah, so I mean, God's blessed me with the ability to play basketball, and it's also opened a lot of doors for me. The last several months, I've got to play in New York City, in Korea, in China a couple times recently, in Singapore last week, playing 3x3 in the FIBA tour. So it's been amazing getting to represent the Philippines in those events. I've also, me and my partners, we launched a basketball company recently called Half Court Group. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see you hoop in a coach, even you, if you want to play. There's a corporate league in Okada in July. If you guys want to play, we'll do like a cash prize. And I would love to see you guys hoop in it.
While you were saying those things, our producers, our directors, umiiling sila lahat. Now they gotta put subtitles.
Oh my God.
Doon sa mga sinabi mo, Pinoy Step tayo, but just kidding. But that's good to know, man. Coming in here, I mean, I thought I was seeing my former teammate now in Meralco, Chris Banchero. And I thought it was CB. Pero iba pala, Jordan.
Iba to.
Oh, iba to. Pero parehas point guard.
I love CB. He gave me a pair of Blazers a few months ago.
He did, huh?
Great guy.
I'm gonna get back to him.
Yeah.
Because you guys didn't want to win a championship. I won a championship with him. I don't get some shoes, so I'm gonna get back to him on that. CB. But it's good to know you're doing well, man, because my last memory of you was when you were in the UAP.
Yeah.
And covering you for 2 seasons at NU and La Salle, and we were able to catch up and all the things that you just said. it's good to know you're in a good place right now.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Iba na, ibang level na itong si
Oo.
Jordan Bartlett. Nag-e-evolve na dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya
Tsaka negosyante pa.
Oo, negosyante.
Nagbukas ng kumpanya.
Oh, yun na nga
Diba? Iniimbita pa tayo maglaro, pero nakatingin sa'yo.
Oo.
Nag-alangan sa akin.
Yun na nga
Where you played, right?
Napilitan sa akin.
Hindi kasi sabi
Non-pro
ko,
kasi,
dati
non-pro.
bawal kasi ang mga dating pro. Kaya ako medyo
okay.
umiiwas
Okay.
na.
Respeto
Okay,
yan.
okay.
Respeto
Yeah.
yan.
Kaya ayaw
So
ko
that was a
ituloy yung
compliment.
conversation.
That was a compliment.
Yes.
Okay, I take it
Ako
back.
eligible ako sa ligang yan eh. Kaya lang medyo nasa tito levels na rin ako. Ayoko na masyado maglaro sa competitive eh.
Thanks for clearing that out. Okay. Now I feel good.
I never disrespect anyone wearing Jordan gear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah,
From
yeah,
Washington, by the way.
From
Washington.
All right, let's get to our fast break. Pinoy Step Podcast is brought to you by Arena Plus Network, your ultimate fast break to NBA action. Stay updated with the latest takes by subscribing to the Arena Plus Network and Pinoy Step Podcast YouTube channel. Listen and rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Your support is like a perfect assist. It helps keep the show going. Sama-sama sa Arena. Let's get to our fast break where we talk about the most intense headlines happening around the NBA. And number one on our list is the first ever buzzer-beating game-winning dunk in the history of
Ever.
the NBA playoffs. Ever. Really? At para
Yes.
sa akin,
Whoa.
Jordan,
Ever.
Christian, this was not just a game-saving dunk. This was a series
Yes.
saving dunk
No
as well.
question. No question. And what a series it has been. I think it's going to be pushed to 7.
2-2 now, right?
Dalaw- 2-2 na. And my pick was the Clippers, even though, you gotta help me recall my memory here.
May mga resibo ako.
Diba? May
Okay
mga
lang,
resibo
don't
ka.
worry.
My pick was the Clippers,
Yep,
but
you did pick
right?
the Clippers.
But I thought that if for them to have a better chance of beating the team that will have a better chance of beating OKC, it would be the Nuggets, if you remember what I said.
Tama.
But what a series it has been. Game 1, the Westbrook game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Game 2 was the Kawhi game. And then game 3,
Sumakit yung paa ni Westbrook.
right? And then it was the Clippers game because they did it collectively. And then game 4, obviously the Aaron Gordon game. Pero, Jokic, man, 36,
Yeah.
21, and 8.
Those are
Jokic,
normal
like,
numbers for
Normal
him.
numbers. But
Crazy.
that dunk, controversial yung dunk na yun. Ano tingin mo? Counted
No,
ba
no,
dapat
no,
o
no.
hindi?
Counted!
Counted?
Ano ba kayo?
No, not for me.
Tingnan mo?
Wow!
For me, okay. So,
Tingnan mo?
Bakit?
Sa
Okay,
wakas,
sige.
may kakampi na ako rito. Who disagrees with you?
Mag-explain ka, Mr. Bartlett.
Yeah,
Bakit
yeah.
hindi counted?
Okay, so
Bakit mas marunong ka pa sa
His
replay
fi-
center?
his fingers, I watched it. We have the most amazing 4K, 8K cameras. His fingers were on the ball. I don't know the rule exactly. You can clarify this for me, but like at 0.0, his fingers were still touching the ball. I think they were like the ball entered the rim, but I don't know. Is that the rule? Is it when it's in the cylinder? Is it already counted no matter what? Or it has to let go of his hands, right, for it to be good. I thought his fingers were still on the ball, like for that 10th of a second when I looked
Okay,
at
so
it.
I don't know, your TV seems so high-tech, pero
Yeah.
sa TV na pinanood ko,
16,
at
kala ko
sa iba't
16K yun sa inyo.
Hoy, OLED yung TV ko.
LED.
OLED, so high-tech din. Sa dami ng mga devices, kung saan ko pinanood yung replay na yon, wala na talaga sa mga daliri ni Aaron Gordon.
You think?
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah.
You, how about you?
Sa akin, I think my eyes were like playing tricks on me. There was an angle that
You
he
better
had.
not have been wearing
The
those shades
sunglasses.
when you watched.
I wasn't, but I was having my migraines, unfortunately. But I think it's a little bit of both. There's angles wherein he had the fingers were still on the leather, and then meron din angulo na parang hindi na, no? Kaya controversial yung game na yun. But hey, this is why the NBA has the replay center, because they have angles that we don't see. And for them to, because like you just said, Anton, this is imagine if that call was overturned. 3-1
Yeah,
Clippers.
game over.
That would be game over.
Yeah,
Maybe the
that
Clips
would be a
win.
wrap.
Right?
And
Right?
and I would be tearing up this paper right now because I picked Denver to reach the finals.
But on the floor they called it good before, right?
Yes.
They
I
did.
think
They
no
did.
matter what they called, that would have stood because it was not conclusive
Inconclusive.
evidence.
Yes.
Correct. But you
So
know,
that's
Jordan,
how close it was.
Jordan, you make a great point. Kasi ano ba talaga ang rule? Dapat ba wala na sa daliri or dapat ba lumusot na yung
Yeah,
bola
yeah,
sa
yeah.
cylinder?
That's true. I actually
Diba?
don't know. I don't know.
But you know what? Thinking about it, because when you dunk the ball, your fingers are inside the rim. Right? So basta, para sa akin, pag lumusot sa ring yung bola, counted na yun.
Counted. Tama.
Maski na sa daliri pa.
Yeah.
Kasi pag mag-dunk ang player, syempre nakadikit pa yung bola sa daliri.
Kaya nga dapat sanayin din ni Jordan, he still plays, no? Yung mga
Yeah.
ala Carmelo Anthony na dunk.
Yeah.
You know, like putting it that
yung
way.
ano lang.
Filipinos don't need to
Parang
worry about that
nilalaglag
rule,
lang.
man. Filipinos play under the rim.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, in practice.
Yeah.
In practice.
Okay, alam mo, one more thing bago tayo pumunta sa next topic. Itong Denver at Clippers series ha, mas nagugulat pa ako na naglalaro si Kawhi Leonard kesa sa mga numbers na naitatala niya. I can't believe this man is still on his feet playing in this series because I really felt that he would make another disappearing act.
Well, that's something that when we did the prediction before, maybe 2 games into the playoffs, before the playoffs, diba, that we have yet to see, and we're seeing it right now.
I know.
I mean the Kawhi that we know, you know, that San Antonio Spurs, Toronto-led championship Kawhi, no question, we're seeing that this year, and it's been a treat. Because you know, my wife is a Spurs fan, so there's a little bit of Kawhi-ish in there, and it's always nice, you know,
My
when
mom
you,
too.
when you
Love the
see
Spurs.
players sort of like redeem themselves,
Yeah.
especially the career of Kawhi,
Yeah.
coming from injuries and then playing this way. It's always a treat for the fans.
All right, let's go to the next topic. And I know, Christian, you have something to say about this. Game number 3. I hope it's not an excuse. Luka Doncic with the stomach bug. 17 points. 17 lang.
No flu
Ang
game
nagawa
there. No flu
ni
game.
Luka Doncic.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Eto na. Voice your concerns, man.
First of all, my initial thoughts, and this is a true story. Okay, we were watching in the sala at home, my wife and I, and then after the game, actually during the game pa lang eh, and then the results, you know, came in that buzzer sound. And first thing, I tell my wife, Marie, alam mo, ang galing ni Jordan. Yan talaga ang unang lumabas sa bibig ko. And then she goes, why? Wala naman si Jordan dito. And then I go, you remember the flu game? And then, you know, I searched it up. You know, and then she goes, oh, yung may sakit siya. Sabi ko, sobrang galing ni Jordan doon. And then I did a little digging. You know why hindi naka-perform si Luka nung flu game?
Oh, bakit?
He wasn't even born yet. Hindi niya alam yung flu game. Even though he's with the Jordan brand,
That's what it is.
hindi niya alam yung flu game. That's why Jordan, really the GOAT. Okay, even with
I
the
love
flu.
you guys. Wow.
By the way, there's a real story to that. I'm not sure if I can tell it. Okay, reliable source, former teammate, naging teammate, former teammate ni Jordan. It's not really the flu game. It's not the pizza guy that you guys watched on Netflix.
The Last Dance.
But I'm not saying, okay, kasi basta. So anyway, and then Luka, born 1999, flu game was 1997.
Yeah.
That's why your name
Hey,
is Jordan,
I was
right? You got a
Anton,
story behind that, right?
I was born, so that's my namesake. So during the 97 finals, I was born and I was there for that series in the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah.
97 finals.
I didn't know that 97 was a flu game. I just knew that he won that year.
You know what your middle name should be? 38. Because he had 38 points in that game. Jordan 38 Bartlett.
Maybe I need to change. I'll change my number.
38, 7, and 5, including the game-winning 3 with 25 seconds left. Did you see Luka do that? No. He had 17 na nakakaawa na puntos. And then
Parang nagre-reklamo ka ata sa franchise player niyo.
5 turnovers. I still love the trade, by the way. But but that's yesterday's news. Okay. Game 4, we're up by 10 to start the 4th. And then long and behold, Edwards with a 40-point game. Naz Reid was fantastic. If I may say, Chris Finch, right? The
Yes,
coach,
yes.
Chris Finch. I thought from a coaching standpoint, he had a crucial timeout. Lakers made back-to-back baskets, and then he calls a timeout. And then Naz Reid goes to the post, and then he makes like 5-7 straight points.
Wow.
That was the game in the 4th quarter. And Naz Reid, 9 of 9 in the 4th quarter in this series. 9 of 9.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
That boy is good.
Nas who? Nas
He's
who?
got the
Exactly.
best- Y'all know about his-
The shade.
Nas
the man in
who?
shades.
Compared to Jackson Hayes.
Now he has the craziest fan base. Like they have people, they're tattooing his face
Oh my
over
gosh,
there.
they replaced
Yeah.
God's name for him in
Yeah,
Nas
it's
We
crazy.
Trust, which is blasphemy. Okay,
blasphemy.
but I mean, but we're not out yet. You know, we're the Lakers. Anything can happen. So
You are passionate about the Lakers.
He is. This is the
He hit a
Laker guy
different
right
tone
here.
when we started talking about the
we're
Lakers.
still in our fast break segment, and he already wants to delve deep into the Laker discussion. We'll get to that.
That's it.
In the second
That's it.
segment.
No more.
Hold your horses. And for our third headline, pinag-uusapan talaga dito yung physicality sa serye ng Clippers at Magic.
sobrang physical.
Physical. Physicality. Ito yung paborito ng mga Pinoy. I'm sure Jordan is very familiar with this. I want to ask you though, when you first came here to the Philippines, having grown up in the States, in Washington, how was the adjustment in terms of the physicality
Oh
of the
my
game?
gosh. It's sobrang iba.
Yan!
Yan!
No.
O kaya nag-guess na kami ng Amerikano na nagtatagalog. Huwag na kayo magreklamo ha. Pinoy step to.
Sobrang
step,
iba. Okay.
Step English yan ha.
Oh,
So
okay.
kalahati tayo.
Oh, yun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, the difference. So when I grew up in America, right? Taga States ako. But
Okay.
then when I got here, it's half the referees, right? The referees, they let you play a little bit more, like
Tama.
mga hand checking, ganun. And then the other part of it is the dirtiness. Like some is physicality. They push a
Wala
lot.
dito
On
nun.
ball, like pushing you.
Walang madumi dito.
Sa UAP, sa team mo. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It wasn't UP. I didn't have issues with UP. But there were guys that like would pinch my stomach,
Nako.
hit me in parts that it's not nice to say in Arena Plus podcast. Step on my shoes like during dead balls so that I can't break away. So that's, I mean, it's a little dirty, but
Yeah.
the physicality, the refs are part of it. You have to adjust to it, and
Yep.
you have to adjust.
Tama.
It's Filipino culture. It's not like you can't complain about it. It's just how we play here. You know?
So nung una ba, napikon ka? Bago yung sapatos mo, inaapak-apakan ka.
Yeah, I
Tapos
didn't-
kinukurot ka.
Yeah, I luckily I didn't get text. I knew I'm a guest. Like Filipino ako, pero like I'm a guest here. Like I don't have the right to be like punch someone in the face because they're hurting me. Like you have to take the high road, because what's gonna happen is if someone hits me somewhere, the ref doesn't see it, and then I give them an elbow to the throat. Who are they gonna call? They're gonna call the tech on me, right?
Oh,
Ganyan dapat ang mindset.
tama.
Yan.
Oh.
Para sa
Yeah.
lahat ng mga...
Mabait ako. Or matapang also.
Para sa lahat ng mga basketball players na Pilipino na lumaki sa Amerika, pag pumunta kayo dito sa Pilipinas, i-google nyo, YouTube nyo, Jordan Bartlett. Hindi gumagante. Mabait. Okay?
Tama yun.
Pero yung mga players mo daw, hindi mabait eh.
Ah, hindi. Physical lang kami. Mababait yung mga players namin. Physical lang. Hindi nyo na inabot sila Abadjan.
That's the political answer.
Hindi niya na inabot. Iba na yung inabot niya eh. Ibang UP team yun.
Yeah.
Ang galing magturo ni Coach Gold. Shout out to Coach Goldwin Monteverde. Okay, Celtics and Magic. Yung physicality ng Magic, they're big guys. Banchero, Franz Wagner. Yes, they are giving the Celtics a hard time, but it's as simple to me as Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, greater than Wagner and Banchero, and that's why the Celtics are going to
For
win
now.
this series.
For now. They're
now,
young.
yes. Potential is good
Yeah.
in Orlando. Like if they get a point guard, like say a LaMelo Ball or a Trae Young, that type of point guard.
Yeah,
or
they
maybe
should get
even
Trae.
Chris Paul.
You think LaMelo
CP,
Ball?
I love
I'm
CP.
not so sure. I mean,
You think he's too ball
bring them-
dominant?
Bring them
Too ball
to
dominant.
bring them over the hump. I mean, he's definitely better than Corey Joseph, but I'm not sure kung si LaMelo Ball ang sagot doon. But you know,
And also because he said he doesn't want to leave Charlotte.
tama. Siyempre, kahit wala na si Jordan doon.
I mean, I think they already overachieved, because I think a lot of people thought this would be a 4-0 sweep. I know it's, what is it now, 3-1 after
Yes.
today?
3-1, yes.
Even today was a close game. But again, it's just youth. Those guys are is super young core. So Franz, I got to play with them a little bit in the States. Those guys are going to be amazing in years to come. But
Yeah.
I think for now, I mean, it's a young team. So I have family in Orlando. Shout out to my family there.
Okay, kumusta po? Size 13. Coach Chris, ano size mo? Size 11. Anton
11.5.
11.5.
So,
Anton
rare
Roxas.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah, pero
Yeah,
you
we
know-
have him as our first guest. So.
Hindi, yung mga teams that are on the come up, yan, mga Orlando, mga Detroit, Houston, they add a couple of pieces, they're gonna be huge problem
Yeah.
to the veteran teams in the NBA.
I think Reed Shepard, nabanggit mo si Houston, no? Baka yan ang bagay sa Orlando. Mahusay yun. Reed Shepard. Yeah, they don't even use him. I mean, he was a big-time name in college and they don't even use him. Hindi siya ginagamit sa Houston. Maybe he could help yung Orlando. Pero itong series na to, kaya physical yan kasi yung game 1, nakita natin yung kay Tatum, yung foul ni KCP, which I thought was nothing. And then, hindi siya nakalaro ng game 2 with the wrist, di ba? And then, yung kay Kristaps nangyari. Yung kay Goga Bitaze. Ayan, that's as Tagalog as it can be. Okay, di ba? Nagkaroon ng duguan siya rito. And then,
WWE eh.
di ba?
Akala niya, nasa WrestleMania siya eh.
And then yung third game, yung kay Jaylen Brown. Di ba? I think it was Cole Anthony. Di ba? Sort of like pulled him down. And then,
Delikado yun sa shoulder.
medyo yung, ano niya yung pinky niya, I think the index, or the index finger ng kaliwang kamay kasi bumaba siya, yung natukod niya yung kaliwang kamay niya. But it's all part of the game. And playoffs, alam mo naman natin, physical talaga yan. Ito nga sumakay lang ng eroplano, Amerika, papunta rito, physical na dito Hindi pa playoffs, NBA playoffs pa kaya.
Kahit sa baggage claim, you have to box out.
Oy.
Basketball is more than just the game. It's the culture, the players, and the stories behind every shot.
Anong pakiramdam na maglaro sa finals?
Paano nga ba talaga ang buhay ng isang pro player?
At anong mga kalokohan ang nangyayari sa dugout?
Lahat yan at marami pang iba pag-uusapan natin dito sa Basketboleros.
Kung mahal mo ang laro, mas lalo mong mamahalin ang podcast na to. Hosted by Ranidel de Ocampo and GB Labrador. Powered by the Arena Plus Sportsbook. Sama-sama sa arena.
Ito po ang Pinoy Step Podcast kung saan pinag-uusapan namin ang NBA with that perfect Pinoy flavor. Anton Roxas, Christian Luanzon, Jordan Bartlett for the first time on the
In
show.
the house! Naka-Chicago, naka-Jordan.
Jordan.
First guest, Jordan.
Yeah.
Hindi kami nag-usap, mga kaibigan.
Di mo alam, I was so happy when I walked in here and saw all three of us representing Jordan.
You were? You were?
I'm so happy right
I
now.
was not because I saw Washington.
Wait, teka, nag-Washington din si
Kalaban
Jordan
mo
ha?
yung
Joke
Wizards.
lang joke lang.
Nag-Washington
Lakers,
din si
ang layo
Jordan.
yung Lakers from the Wizards.
Oo nga,
You
kaya
guys
hindi ko
are
sila
so much
maalala.
better. I'm a DC fan, but hey, like we need a franchise change or something.
Yan yung early years ni Jordan, yung scoring champion pero hindi pa nagcha-champion. Yung
Yes,
sa
sir.
akin yung nag-champion na, yung 6 feet. Ito yung
Retirement.
Bumalik sa Wizards.
Twilight years na to
Yan. So
considering siya yung
Twilight.
pinakabata, no? Sa atin dalawa dito.
we're representing Jordan on the show, but of course we have to
The GOAT.
we have to
Yes,
I hope you are in a good mood, my friend, because we're going to start with, I'm sure a lot of hearts were broken this early morning, especially to the Laker fans who stayed up. The Lakers dropping game number 4, 116-113 to Ant-Man and the T-Wolves. This is the part of the show where Christian gets into his feelings. Okay lang yan.
Alam mo kung anong pinakamasakit dito? 'Di ba? Lahat nagsasabi, Lakers in 5. Natalo nung game 3. Oh,
Malas.
Lakers in 6. Oh, ngayon, ano na? Wala na. Lakers in 7. Hindi ko alam.
Lakers in 8.
Ang sama ng game. The controversial game, by the way, Anton. Napanood mo ba? Wala akong plano panoorin eh.
Oo.
Nagising ako ng maaga sa sakit ng ulo ko. Napilitan na ako manood. Paggising ko, start ng fourth quarter, up 10 ng Lakers. Ba,
Anyari.
okay. But the thing is, Jordan, I don't know if you have this feeling. Seriously. There's the thing about the first possession. I'm talking as a player coach. There's a thing about the first possession of the fourth. When you have the possession at home, whether you're down or up, to me, that's not a good sign. Because if you're down, you make a good play, you make a basket, it creates momentum, especially playing at home, which, Anthony Edwards, he opened up that fourth quarter. Grabe. Ang galing. Okay. 40-point game. Ang galing sumayaw eh. Ewan ko kung related kay Gary Vito eh. Tapos, Naz Reid, in the middle of that game, they had to take Gobert out. Because offensively, mas mahusay itong team na to eh, with Naz Reid at the 5, which is a problem for us. That's why kung ako, I gotta make some changes. If I'm JJ Redick, sa game 5, I gotta make some changes in the starting lineup. Maybe I'm just throwing some pieces out there. Maybe Austin Reeves comes off the bench. You need something out of Gabe Vincent. Because I don't think Jackson Hayes, since hindi mo naman siya nilalaro.
Paborito mo talaga si Jackson Hayes.
I mean, he starts and then really, starting 5 siya, pero starting 5 minutes lang. That's it. Second half, wala nang sabang Lakers.
You can't complain about the big. You gave away Anthony Davis. So, I mean, whatever you get, it's not gonna be as
nakuha
good.
naman namin si Luka, di ba? Pero yun yung kapalit nun. But, there was a controversial call. I was going to that. Wolves up by 1, seconds remaining, and then he drives to the basket. He loses the ball. Nakaturo ang referee sa Lakers. Wolves challenge. Okay? I thought first, since you can change the call when there's a challenge, I thought Edwards traveled first. Traveling eh.
Ito na yung attorney ng Lakers, guys.
And then, these officials audaciously calls a foul on LeBron. Okay? On LeBron. It was, kakaibang angle yung ngayon ko lang nakita sa NBA. Galing sa ibabaw. Like on top. It was not in front, behind, on the side. Galing sa taas. Wherein may contact. But to me, it was marginal. But again, nauna yung traveling. But then again, this was the one that got away. We should have won this
Daming
game.
excuses, right?
Dito lang sa Pinoy Step Podcast ko narinig yung traveling. Pero yung foul talaga yung pinag-usapan dun eh. Jordan, what do you think? Was it a foul? It was right here on the wrist.
No, honestly, I mean, I didn't watch this game. I didn't catch this game, but
That you
all I
have
can
no
say-
right to comment.
No, listen, you guys. No, you can. Here's the thing, and I feel I empathize with how emotional you are about this. It's tough when you have Luka, right, which is a game changer. But it's tough when chemistry talaga. It's importante yan, right? So, I mean, to get him late in the season, no matter if you have 2 stars in LeBron and Doncic, you can't just put it together. Then you're gonna win or lose games off of calls and like one possession games. Like for a team like that, if they had chemistry, I think if they played together all year healthy,
Maybe.
then this would be tambak yan,
Yeah.
right? So
May point siya.
Yeah, he has a point. Kasi,
Pero mali pa rin siya.
alam mo, nag-overachieve na ang Lakers eh. Finishing 3rd. Getting Luka mid-season. Sacrificing your
Don't
rim
patronize
protector.
me.
Ano na yun? Just take the moral victory, bro.
Oh my
buddy.
gosh.
Just take the moral victory, okay? Ito lang sasabihin ko. We have to celebrate Ant-Man. Anthony Edwards.
Mahusay talaga.
Tandaan natin.
Galing.
Jordan
Galing.
Jr.
Nung nakaraang season,
Maybe. Yeah.
nung nakaraang season, pinauwi niya ang idol niya na si Kevin Durant. Ngayong season, kung pinauwi niya si LeBron,
And then si Jokic.
at kung
second
pinauwi
round.
niya si Stephen Curry, kailangan na natin ibigay ang corona sa kanya. Siya na ang bagong muka ng NBA. Kung
Too early.
mapapauwi niya si Durant, LeBron, at Curry, the Godfathers,
Yeah, matapang yan.
Too early.
Face
Too
of the
early to
NBA.
tell. Too early. He's got to win a championship first.
That's
At
true.
least.
Yeah.
At least. Kailangan manalo
Or
muna siya.
MVP or
Kaya
something.
yung last
yeah.
year, masyado maaga yun para sa akin. Di ba? They're crowning him the next phase.
hindi kasi pinag-uusapan na yan eh. Sino ba yung potential, di ba?
I know.
Luka, Ant-Man. Para sa akin ngayon liamado si Ant-Man. Kung yung dalawang yon ang pinag-uusapan.
He has that same competitive aura as
Yeah.
Jordan, right? And that's
Yes.
trash talk.
And there is that
But you gotta
myth
have the
that
numbers
he's
to
the
back it up.
long lost son.
You gotta have the
Lord.
numbers, the credentials, which is really a far cry. If we compare his stats, even in a young Jordan na hindi pa nanalo ng championship, malayo. Malayo. Kaya sa akin,
Iba kasi-
masyado maaga yun.
Iba kasing breed yung Jordan.
Oo.
Iba talaga
How old is
mga
Ant-Man?
Jordan eh.
Ilan taon na yan?
Sige, ito, i-search natin. para
Bata pa
sigurado
yan.
tayo.
I think he's 26.
Sige,
26?
magsalita muna.
Maybe in
kayo.
like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, he definitely needs to win MVP or
At least.
championship.
Diba?
Bare
At
minimum.
least.
Yeah, bare minimum.
And I don't think it's gonna come to a point na
Pare, 23 years old.
23.
No.
See?
Okay, we have to give him some time.
And I don't
Bata
think,
pa.
23.
okay, even if he
Bata
wins
pa
a
yan.
chip, kahit manalo siya ng championship, I don't think, just like Jordan did, mananalo siya ng MVP and Defensive Player of the Year
Yeah.
in the same year. Tama ba?
Yeah,
Wala
only-
nang makakagawa.
In the same
nun.
year?
He's the
Hindi
only
lang
one,
yun.
right?
Ang dami
He's the
pa.
only one.
Ang
Yeah,
dami
yeah.
pa. All defensive team,
Ang
first
haba
team.
yung listahan.
Bigay mo na lahat.
Diba?
Wala na
Ang hirap
makakagawa
ko.
nun. Yun yung isang record na para sa akin na hindi na mabe-break.
Yeah,
Kung yung scoring record ni Wilt na break ni LeBron,
yeah.
yung kay Jordan, yung mga awards na yon na nakuha niya sa isang season, hindi na mabe-break yun.
Oh, 6 NBA Finals MVP and then 6
You know how hard it is to be the best offensive and defensive
Yeah.
player?
Sobrang hirap. Mm.
Okay. Are you good? You want
Let's move on.
Let's move
on.
Okay.
Condolences, Coach.
Now I will get into my feelings a little bit because this was the series that I was looking forward to watching the most. LA Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Alam mo, bago nagsimula yung actually second half pa lang ng game number 3 nung nabalitaan ko na may foot inflammation si Russell Westbrook. Sabi ko, patay. Walang sub. Kasi itong si Adelman,
Wala.
42 minutes per game yung buong starting five. Anong klase yan?
Whoa.
Ano yung walang bench?
Si Redick nga, ibong second half. Hindi pa nilitan yung 5 eh. Oh.
Kinakabahan na ako sa Denver because I picked Denver to make it to the finals. You picked LA. We're gonna ask Jordan in a bit who he thinks is gonna come out of the West. But I am super concerned
In
about
the series,
this Denver Nuggets team. Also because hindi ko in-expect na maglalaro ng lahat ng games itong si Kawhi Leonard. Kasi akala ko disappearing act na naman. Kasi every season, every playoff series, ganun yung nangyayari sa kanya eh. Bigla na lang siyang mawawala.
So he's been moving really
no
well.
explanation.
Fluid.
Yeah,
Fluid talaga.
He's been fluid. Pero yun nga, one of our headlines, the game-saving, series-saving dunk of Aaron Gordon. I
Yeah.
feel like he saved the series for Denver.
Oh, for sure. We talked about it earlier that
Yeah.
that might still have been on his fingers, but anyways, it's how it finished 2-2 now. But I think that their experience is gonna trump the Clippers, right? So I mean, they still have championship pedigree. I mean,
Yep.
these are NBA champions.
Ni kontrabida
have
tayong
the-
guess.
You have the two-time.
Nag-agree sa'yo. Bakit ganun? Ikaw
I just call
nag-imbita
it
sa
how I
kanya,
see
no?
it.
Tama?
Oo,
I just call it
Maghahanap
how I
ako
see
ng
it.
imbitahin ko.
Bakit? Ano problema?
Maghahanap ako ng
2-2.
imbitahin ko.
But listen, it's hard when you have guys that have been there. That's why you have young teams. I mean, the Rockets are the second seed right now, right? But they're down in the series. It's different once the playoffs start. There's more nerves. The calls are different. Everyone, they play a different rotation.
That's the key of what he said right there. Okay, the calls are different.
Yes.
Traveling talaga yun eh, kay Edwards.
Magreklamo ka sa barangay, Christian Luanzon.
I got the Nuggets pulling out this one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, here on the show, we gave our early predictions before nag-start yung playoffs. Sino ba ang aabante?
Mga resibo na tinatawag.
Ito yung resibo ko. Nandito pa rin. The same receipt. Not edited, okay? So I chose Denver. Sabi ko, Denver's gonna advance to the finals. Obviously, Christian chose LA. Nanganganib na. LA Lakers.
The little brother.
Mix Gomez picked OKC, number 1 team in the league.
Mr. Safety.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Bartlett,
Uh-huh.
who do you see coming out of the West?
Mr. Kontrabida.
Fate of the universe on the line. I got the Warriors. I got belief. How old is Steph now? 36, 37?
37?
This guy.
Verify
is
natin
still-
yan. Sige.
37. He's 37,
Yun
Anton.
na yung next. Pag-usapan natin yung Rockets at Warriors. Okay.
I got the Warriors.
Why? Give us your case on why the Warriors will make it to the finals.
Finally,
I
I
think
agree with him.
Listen, I think
37 years old.
matalino talaga yung Butler trade, right? I know the Heat. The Heat are what? 0-3 right now. They need him. I mean, he just brings that energy where you're putting a star in a role player position, right? So I think Butler perfectly knows his role. I think they won like 80-85% of their last 12 games of the regular
Pero
season.
sa tingin mo makakabalik siya, he has the butt boo-boo.
Oh yeah, he does. But they won. They won without him.
Yeah.
He took that hard fall. But then they have Kuminga, who's a very capable player. I'm sure he was pretty.
He
sad.
hasn't even played before that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what a championship roster. dapat mahaba yung bangko mo. Bangko, is that the right Tagalog, right?
Tama.
Yeah.
Tama.
So I'm trying my best, guys.
I agree with
But
him.
I think
Yeah,
they're
Warriors.
deep. I think, again, championship pedigree and that experience under Coach Curry is very, very important. And I think Steph is still playing with youth. You know what I mean? So I think even Pajemski is giving big minutes, big energy. So I think they have what it takes. It's going to be an upset. I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
How about
But that's who I got.
a recap of the series? Like in game 1,
Yeah.
dynamic duo, diba?
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin, diba? 31 points, 31 and 25, Curry and Butler. And then game 2, the Jalen Green game, 38 points, diba? And then he had like 25 attempts, 13 of 25. And then na-injured si Butler.
Yeah.
Diba? I think it was the first or second quarter in the first half yun eh. And then, 104-93, yung sinasabi niya, Curry was just terrific. I mean, a great call kung napanood mo yung game, yung corner 3 niya. Diba? And
my God.
yung gravity defying something.
Oh
something.
And then he did it was a great call
Against
by
Jalen.
by Jay Billis. He goes, "No Jimmy, you get the shimmy." Curry does the shimmy.
Stuff is crazy.
And then pinag-usapan natin, 'di ba, yung physicality. 'Di ba? Nung game 2, nung nanalo Houston, I think it was towards the end of the game. Medyo binigyan ni Green Jalen Green, si Draymond Green.
So the end of the game, right? Do you remember
End of the game. And then, nung game 3, anong game yung si nagkagulo sila
They were
ulit.
fighting at the end, right?
Yeah. Nagkagulo sila and then Tari Eason threw a towel. To you, Pat Spencer.
Oh, Pat. I played with Pat in the States. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, he
Because I
visited
thought
us
it
in
was
DC. Nah. You know, he was a lacrosse player in
He's
college.
a lacrosse legend,
yeah. Like a
exactly.
GOAT. Like he's one of the best to ever
he's
play.
a legend. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to play with us in DC.
Pero
and,
ito si Tari Eason naman, manggugulo pa. Pinili yung bangko.
yeah.
Dapat tinapon niya yung kay Draymond Green, di ba? Pero matalino si Tari Eason.
Yeah.
Di ba? Tinapon niya kasi nakita naman niya yan eh. Kaya maganda tong series na to, tulad ng sinasabi ni Jordan. Game 4, sa tingin mo, sino? Warriors. Yeah. Tingin ko, Warriors din.
Para sa akin, ang pinakamalaking concern dito is kung kaya ba buhatin ni Steph Curry ang Warriors na wala si Jimmy Butler.
True.
Na wala siyang Robin. Kasi, di ba?
Tama.
Kuminga needs to step up.
Sino ba uno namatay? Si Batman, si Robin? Are you a DC fan? I mean,
Teka.
kasi may mga version na...
Oo, iba-iba yan eh.
Di ba?
Hindi, umalis si Robin kasi di ba, nag-away sila.
Tama. Naging
Nightwing.
Oo. Hindi ba naging Joker?
Hindi, ibang Robin yun.
Ibang
hindi
Robin
yung Dick
yun.
Grayson.
Hindi, senador pala yan. So anyway, naging Robin Padilla.
Hindi, seriously, I think the biggest concern here is whether Steph Curry can carry the Warriors without Jimmy Butler kasi sobrang questionable eh. Alam natin kung gaano katapang, gaano katibay si Jimmy Butler, but the fact that he did not play in game number 3, ibig sabihin hindi niya talaga kaya. Kahit painkillers, kahit yung threshold for pain niya sobrang taas, hindi siya naglaro eh. So
soft
yun yung
tissue kasi yan eh.
Oo.
Is he coming back? What were the reports?
It's all
game
up
to
in
game?
the air.
Game to game?
Indefinite. Yeah, indefinite. They're taking game to one game at a time.
You should, the way their guard, we're talking about the Filipino physicality. They're giving him the Filipino physicality. Every screen and every down screen,
grabe
they're
yun.
chasing him.
Sobrang
pushing him
kondisyon. Paano sabihin yan? Yung baga, kondisyon idol.
Yeah, kondisyon ka, kondisyon.
Sobrang kondisyon si Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Ang galing nga ng mga nilalabas nila rin. If you watch the game, parang sinasabi nila at this point of the game, Curry has ran a mile. And then I think at the end of the game, parang 2 miles na.
Grabe, no?
Grabe yung condition niya off-ball.
teknolohiya ngayon,
He's the best off-ball player in NBA
Paano
history.
kaya nung mga panahon ni Rip Hamilton, Reggie Miller, kung tinatrack kung ilang screens yung dinadaanan nila.
Yeah.
Ang galing, no?
Oo, mahusay. Pero
Buti naabutan pa ni Curry.
This guy's running a 5K every
Yeah,
single
yeah,
game.
yeah.
It's crazy.
ibang klase.
Alright, the last series in the West, I don't know if...
Excited ka dito, tingin ko.
Ewan ko nga kung anong pag-uusapan natin dito eh. Memphis and OKC.
Well, since Jordan,
Yeah.
di ba? We gotta talk about Pippen. Yan ang highlight dyan.
Pippen ain't easy.
Yeah.
Blowout, man.
30 plus points, no?
Yeah.
Oo.
Ang galing kaya. I mean, this series, di ba, is you could say a level below boring, especially the first two games. 50-point win, first game. And then almost a 20-point win on game 2.
In the comeback.
But the game 3, yun ang mabigat. Up 27, I think.
My
Biggest
God.
lead.
But
ang
Ja got
Memphis.
hurt, right?
Ja got hurt.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, even watching it, pinapanood lang natin sa TV. 'Di ba? Talagang nakakapanghina yung nangyari sa kanya. Which clearly, si Lou Dort, mukhang nag-slip talaga eh. You know, he was trying to, nakita niyo yung pass from Pippen, a bounce pass from behind. You do that, right? The bounce pass.
Yeah. Follow pocket pass.
I remember you saying. And then
Salamat,
si Ja,
salamat.
just like what he always does, he wants to, jump over people. Ang problema, nadula si Lou Dort. But they were shooting lights out ng larong yun. Pippen Jr., I think in the first half, 4 of 4, and then he ended up 26, and then game 4, 28, and then 30 points.
All they're gonna remember is 4-0 though. They're not gonna remember all that.
That's the thing. Ganun kagaling ang OKC.
That is why I'm gonna ask Jordan Bartlett how much of a believer he is in SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, first Canadian scoring champion in the history of the NBA, 32 plus points, 27 plus in this series. How much do you believe in this guy?
Man, I think he's a different breed. I think grabe yung pace niya. Right? Yung ibig sabihin niya, like he has the ability to change gears. Like he can go slow to fast, but he knows how to use his body. He knows like when to, I mean, everyone calls him a foul merchant, and he's getting a lot of hate. When you're really good, you get a lot of hate for that. But he's just the ability to get to the line, go from slow to fast, post up, fade, bump fades. It's amazing. I got to watch a game like up close when he played the Wizards, and he torched us. Him and Chet. Chet, I think, had a crazy game that game.
Oh, say no. You know what? Can I just add? Zooming in on him now beside me.
Oh my God.
I mean, I want to take it back. He doesn't look like Chris Banchero.
Oh.
More like Damontes Sabonis.
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 That's my
Sabonis.
first time in my life.
Sabonis.
I've ever heard that.
Sabonis. Uy,
I think it's because of the hair.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Gwaping din yun.
Oh yeah. May comb over siya. No?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you'll have
The
your
same.
starting 5 then. Yung like the
yeah.
Netflix series.
Shoot, maybe. Tingnan natin.
Okay,
Yeah.
bago tayo lumipat sa East, meron lang akong tanong kay Jordan kasi bumanat si Jordan ng foul merchant. Ano ba ang Tagalog ng foul merchant, Mr. Jordan Bartlett?
Ano ibig sabihin doon? Flopping. I don't know. Di ko alam.
Do that in slow-mo.
Oh, Prof. Luanzon, ano ba ang Tagalog ng foul merchant? Kasi last episode na nandito ka, tinagalog mo yung guaranteed.
Garantisado!
Oh, foul merchant. Ano ang Tagalog ng foul merchant?
Di siya alam.
Maarte.
I don't think there's a translation.
O yan, tulungan nyo po kami. Ano ang Tagalog ng foul merchant? I-comment nyo below. Alright? And that wraps up our Western Conference side of the playoff bracket sa pagpapatuloy ng ating diskusyon dito sa Pinoy Step Podcast. Sa East naman tayo. Don't go away.
Every champion has a story. And behind every success, there's a journey.
Alam mo yung feeling na parang gusto mong sumuko pero lumalaban ka pa rin?
Dahil sa support system, sa passion, at syempre sa sariling determinasyon. Lahat tayo may kwento. And here, we share ours with you.
PB&J is all about the struggles, the wins, and the journey in between. PB&J, Peanut Butter and Jella. Brought to you by Arena Plus Network. Sama-sama sa Arena.
You're still with us here on the Pinoy Step Podcast. Anton Roxas, Christian Luanzon, and Jordan Bartlett. At the time of this recording, ongoing pa rin po itong laban ng Pacers at Milwaukee. Personally, this is the series that I'm watching intently. Giannis. It's kind of like the Golden State and Houston series because Dame's health and conditioning is in question. So ang tanong dito is, kaya bang buhatin ni Giannis itong Milwaukee past the Pacers? Yun ang tanong para sa akin.
Well, may sagot na ako dyan.
Okay.
Di ba? And this was based on their last 15 games. You know, which they're like 12-3. Something like that. No, we talked about that nung unang episode natin. And then he was playing point guard since wala si Dame. And he was averaging almost a triple-double. Nagtaas yung assist niya. He had that one game wherein he had...
20 ba?
Yeah, like... No, I think it was like 15.
Okay.
Ang nag-20 yata si Jokic eh. Yung 30-20-20 game niya. But ginawang point guard talaga to, no? We all know, si Giannis, once he gets the rebound, he can bring the ball down like a grab and go kind of thing.
4 dribbles.
Pero, eto talaga, even in their sets, ginawa siyang point guard. But you could just see, no, contradicting to what I said, it's still a team sport. At yun ang pinapakita ng Pacers. Ang ganda ng balance nila, ang ganda ng bench, no? Sipi mo, coming off the bench, guys like Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell, di ba? And yung energy, tsaka yung points. I mean, looking at the score now, start ng fourth, 101-84 Pacers.
I think Dame got hurt because he only has played 6 minutes and 3 quarters. So he probably got hurt again.
But, you know, to my point, di ba? At this point, it's only the start of the fourth, Anton, ha? 7 players already in double figures for Indiana.
Wow.
Start ng fourth. So that tells you yung ginagawa ng organization ni Rick Carlisle. No, I mean, this is a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
And in 3 quarters, Hallie has 17, 13, and 8.
The most overrated player as voted by...
Really?
Yeah. Voted by the NBA players.
I think,
which I disagree with.
No, because he had the All-Star year.
Right.
Then Bumabasha, like he had an off year. I think he got hurt right after All-Star.
He did.
And then he went down. But I mean, first playoff.
Hamstring, parang hamstring.
Everyone, there's bias, recency bias. So if you play well, like in the playoffs, everyone's going to forget what you did before. So...
Eto, may Washington-related question ako para kay Jordan. Kasi si Kuzma, nanggaling sa Washington.
Tama.
Yeah.
Game number 1, 0.
Tama.
0 points. Anyari kay Kuzma, Jordan, akala natin na makakatulong siya
And
dito
you
sa
cannot
Milwaukee.
mention that he's a former Laker because he won a championship there. Okay? Just
I'll never say that.
para unahan na kita. Okay?
No, my friend Dev, he works for Kuzma. So I've actually met him a couple times. But no, I mean, it happens. It's the game of basketball. You can shoot thousands and thousands of shots. I mean, whether it's the pressure of the game, the lights, or the new team, whatever you blame it on, I mean, there's no excuse though. You're going to get blamed. I mean, he's supposed to be like a third option,
What
maybe.
Austin Reeves is to LA.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Excuse me, not in the same breath. Okay?
yeah, it's tough though. They already had a championship.
Austin
team.
Reeves never had
Don't go back to the
a
Lakers.
000. Okay.
My bad,
Okay.
Jordan.
Okay.
Init na to.
Okay, go. Okay, go.
Yeah, so nah, it's tough. You can't blame this on I mean, Dame is playing bad. I mean, the burden is heavy on Giannis. It's hard. I mean, they won, they already won a championship and, they changed the chemistry of the team. If you change the second option of the team, it's the same thing I said with the Lakers. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about the Lakers again.
That's why we predicted Giannis, maybe at the end of the season, could be a
free agent.
Heat.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's tough.
I said that.
Nuggets, Nuggets and Bucks. It's also tough when you've won MVP and you've won a championship already. Like, what are you really playing for? You already have the big max contracts. That's why it's also there's motivation for players. Like, I think they're already Hall of Famers. Like Dame, Giannis.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Jokic. Like, what are they playing for at this point?
Kaya iba talaga
Kumbaga
iba talaga yung Jordan.
Yung gutom, hindi na
Iba.
hindi na katulad ng dati.
Yeah.
Pag nakapag-championship ka na, pag nakatikim ka na ng kampyonato, it's not the same anymore. So
Same
Kaya,
with Kuzma.
kaya iba talaga yung
Kuzma
Jordan.
won. So
Diba?
they're all...
Tama ba? Iba yung Jordan.
Oo, iba yung Jordan.
Yeah.
Oo.
He knew that.
This is the Jordan episode, by the way. Guys.
Alam niya,
episodes.
Michael Jordan hindi Jordan Bartlett.
Alam niya, 25 years after he was retired that they would be arguing for the GOAT position. So he was like, I think someone from Akron is going to be born and I got to make sure I win 6 titles, never lose a finals game. So, yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next series. Ito maganda din to, guys. New York and
New
Detroit.
York!
Mukhang sulit na sulit yung trade Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns.
For both teams.
For both teams.
3-1 sila parehas.
Sulit na sulit yung trade. Grabe yung 3 points ni Kat.
Kanina, no? Step back pa
tingin
yun.
nyo ba? Yeah, step back. Tsaka ang layo. Halos 30 feet.
Tama.
Eto.
And I think it was back-to-back baskets.
Eto, yung una yung fade away.
Correct.
Yung fade away tapos yung
Correct.
step back. 5 straight points from Kat. Eto, tanong ko sa inyo. Kasi, di ba, couple years ago, sinabi ni Karl Anthony Towns that he's the greatest shooting big man in NBA history. So,
Three-point
sangayon ba kayo na itong si Karl Anthony Towns has a case for greatest shooting big man in NBA history?
True.
And if it's not him, sino? Kasi maraming big man na shooter.
Oh my gosh.
The game is, that's a Steph effect, man.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go for Dirk. Pero,
But is Dirk a big? He's a stretch 4. Like, Cat is more of a, well, I guess is Cat a stretch
he's
4 or is he a
4.
5?
I mean, when he was in Minnesota,
He was a 4.
Quatro siya eh.
Now he's a 5.
he's a 5 now. But pero minsan nagsasabay sila. ni
Dirk is
Mitchell
more
Robinson.
mid-range phase.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I gotta go for Dirk.
Yeah.
Okay? And alam mo nakakatawa dito? Nung tinatanong mo ako, sino uno pasok sa isip ko? Tim Thomas.
Eto na naman tayo sa mga ano mo eh. Ano yun? Sino yun?
By the way, totoo yung ganon. Papakita namin.
Di ko kilala.
Ka naman ng mga bata sa TikTok.
Oh. You remember Tim Thomas?
Yes.
Oh, you remember Tim Thomas. Pero,
Di ko alam yan.
I gotta search it up. Tim Thomas.
Jordan represents all the people commenting. Christian Luanzon
Bata
on
pa
TikTok.
ako.
Yeah, so yeah, you before kay John Cena ata sabay.
I gotta go with Dirk. But you know, you talk about
Dirk was the first person I thought of actually.
si Dirk talaga. I mean, we talk about Steph changing the game the way it's played now.
You
diba?
did before
I mean,
Steph, yeah.
You can make a case for Dirk, right? Being really one of the elite stretch 4 scorers. You know, struggled this first few years sa Mavericks. But itong larong to, no, ang ganda kasi si Brunson put quite a scare nung third quarter. Being pressured by Schroeder.
Oh, naagawan siya.
Naagawan siya. Tapos lumabas. No, I think he sprained his ankle. Pero ang maganda doon, Anton, pagkapasok niya, he scored 15 points. And then Kat, as you mentioned, with those back-to-back baskets. And then itong New York, up 3-1 na.
I did like the trade initially. I just want to make it clear. Sometimes in this podcast we have to accept that we were wrong, and I accept that I was wrong na dahil.
Sino ba pinili mo rito?
Hindi kasi ang sinabi ko, this is more of like yung trade kasi sinabi ko, diba?
Yeah.
DiVincenzo? The DiVincenzo?
Yeah, the DiVincenzo.
Okay.
I said kasi I didn't like the trade. Sabi ko mas gusto ko
Four?
sana na nag-stay.
You didn't like the trade
Hindi kasi-
4?
hindi
The Villanova
pare-
Knicks, they had to keep that. That would have
Oo
been
nga
so
eh.
cool.
Pero nasayangan kasi ako sa Gobert, Kat, and Anthony Edwards.
What did I
Kasi
say
para
about
sa
that?
akin,
I don't remember.
Championship line.
Parang nag-disagree ako, diba?
nag-disagree
I like the
ka.
trade, right?
Yeah. So now I'm seeing, okay, tama pala.
I do remember.
Tama
Kasi
pala.
3-1 eh. Alam ko tama ko. So yun.
Tama ka na.
Yan yung problema. That's what's wrong with the NBA. Like they want instant results. So even if you have a young core, if you don't win a championship in the first 2 years, they're just like, let's change something. That's the problem. Like
Ganun talaga eh.
there's a problem. Let's just it must be the coach. It must be a player.
Million na
But
kasi
there's
yung
30
ginagastos
there's
ngayon,
30
Jordan.
teams.
Yep.
There's a superstar on every team. How are you gonna? Not everyone can win a championship, but not every team is mature enough to build their core and wait a few years to see what happens, right? So
Grabe na kasi mga kontrata ngayon. Kaya mga owners naiinip na.
Oo.
Diba? Who's the owner of Phoenix? Matt Ishbia?
Yeah, Matt
Nakita
Ishbia.
mo, sobrang nainip siya. Kumuha siya ng taga-Washington.
Na ngayon, gusto niyang bitawan. Kahit sobrang mahal ng kontrata. Diba?
Oo, ang mabigat doon, no trade clause.
Yeah.
Si Bradley Beal.
the only one, right? I think he's one of the few with a no trade
I
clause.
think the only one right now na with the no trade clause. Insane. And LeBron, I think. And LeBron.
Okay, bago tayo lumipat sa next series, I just want to ask Jordan kasi plays the guard position, Cade Cunningham. Grabe yung kanya na the leap that
Galing.
Cade took this season. unbelievable. What can you say about his game, and who would you like to see pair up with him to take Detroit to the next level? Because they're clearly on the way.
I mean, I think they need a good big man. I mean, Cade it's tough for me to be a fan of guys like that because he's a big guard. You know what I mean? Like I love like my favorite point guard of all time is Chris Paul because he's 6 foot,
CP.
20 years in the league, played 82 games this past year. He's vegan also like myself.
Yeah.
And no, I think Cade is great though. I can't relate to players like that. And haba niya, like defensively, like he can contest more,
So
super
6'6",
athletic.
no? 6'5",
Yeah, big
6'6".
guard, and that's what it is. Like you have 6'7", 6'8" point guards now. But now they definitely need like a big guy to go pick and roll with him to extend the floor.
So you think Durant's not enough? Maybe they make a off-season trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen. I know he's shown flashes,
Right.
but I think they need to go somewhere else.
That's interesting. Yeah.
All right. I asked Christian Luanzon a question about Donovan Mitchell.
Ano sinagot ko? I forgot.
In relation to I'll refresh your memory in relation to this series against
Oh, yeah,
Miami.
Tatum.
Hindi. Tinanong kita. So I asked Christian,
Okay.
or can Donovan Mitchell be the number 1 player on a championship team? Sinabi ni Christian.
No, I said no because
They
it's
have-
Tatum.
Yes, and then they have to beat Boston.
Right.
That's the point that you were trying to make.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
ngayon I throw the question to you, Jordan. Pwede ba maging number 1 option, number 1 player itong si Donovan Mitchell
Sorry,
sa isang championship
I
team?
have to go against you. I think anyone that scores 70 points it has the capability to be the number 1 player. Whether he is performing like it is one thing, but I mean,
In a regular season game. Okay.
a regular. But in the playoffs, they
The 70 points. The
up
70
to-
points.
up till now they're the 1 seed, right? So they've done their job, right? So I think you have to give them a few years before you start, saying that it's a failure or they need a different, main player. But no, I think they're capable.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
They have the 2 amazing bigs and they have Donovan. I think they have the pieces. I think it's just maybe they weren't as experienced in the last 2 years. Maybe they pull it out this year. We'll
No,
see.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
No, I think, but yung question kasi ni Anton sa akin during that time was, can he be the best player in the
Yes.
series? And
on the other team also.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
I told him, since they're in the East, they're number 1 at that time, heading into the playoffs yun di ba? Number 1 sila, which they've been at the top spot for the rest of the season. And then, assuming that they meet sa East Finals, di ba? And then, ang sinagot ko sa kanya nun, kung Cavs Celtics, is I don't think so because you can't bet against Tatum.
they
I
have
think
that
Tatum is
backcourt.
going to be the best guy in the series.
Because if you shut down JB, you have Tatum, vice versa. Like
Right.
what happened in the finals. I mean, JB won, finals
Got
MVP,
robbed.
right?
He got
You think
robbed.
so?
Wow.
The same way Steph Curry got robbed by Andre Iguodala.
No. Don't do
Hey.
that. Don't do that.
He did.
It doesn't matter.
Look at
I don't
the
think
numbers.
I don't think it affected
Look
his
at
legacy
okay.
at all. That's how good he is.
Finals MVP, not Finals X Factor. Okay, X Factor. Yes, Iguodala. What was this? 2015.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know.
2015, right?
Yeah.
But you agree with me, right?
He played better than his role, but I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like,
Steph Curry
no.
should have won it. So
For sure.
it's the same way.
I don't know who got the vote.
With the Celtics last year. Even for sure, Tatum struggled, but you go back to the numbers. Okay,
Should have been Tatum.
Should have
yeah.
been Tatum. You agree? See?
Guys.
See?
Para hindi na tayo mag-away.
Finally,
Para
we
hindi na
have
tayo
somebody
mag-away.
smart on the show.
Ganito na lang, okay? Importante yung gutom ka.
Yeah.
Sa mga bagay na hindi mo pa nakukuha sa buhay. Okay? Ganun na lang.
Yes.
Kaya nakuha ni Curry yung Finals MVP kasi hindi pa niya nakukuha dati. Bigay na natin kay Kuya Andre Iguodala. Okay?
Kuya
Kay
Andre.
Tito Andre. Okay?
Kuya.
Bigay na natin doon. Okay?
Sige.
Ngayon, si Tatum, sige, bigay na natin kay JB. This season. Yan. Pwede na naman.
But I think, if you remember, I think though, a big part kung bakit nila binigay kay JB on last year sa Celtics is nung game, was that game 1?
Tsaka may mga laro kasi na off si Tatum eh. May mga laro na off eh.
Oh, sorry. I was referring to the Pacers series.
Mm.
Yung, was that the Pacers series? Yung corner 3 ni Brown? Diba? Parang
So, recency bias.
Pangtay. Oh, ewan ko. Basta, pero dapat Tatum yun eh.
Eto,
My migraine's hitting again. So.
One last thing before we depart this Cleveland and Miami series. Gusto ko lang sabihin, game number 3, gate attendance, 19,600 people inside the Kaseya Center. Beautiful arena, by the way. I had a chance to watch LeBron's return there from when he went back to Cleveland.
Mhm.
Kaya lang, nung fourth quarter, hindi na 19,000 yung tao sa loob ng
They
arena.
left.
8,000
No
na lang eh.
way.
Pumarty na sa South Beach. Bakit ganun yung mga fans sa Miami?
Hindi
Laging late
loyal.
sa game. Tapos, pag tinatambakan, umuwi na.
Umalis na
pumaparty
agad.
na.
Umalis na
Inuman
agad.
na. Ba't ganun? Parang may iba yung
Ikaw,
kultura sa
nakapunta ka
Miami.
na, hindi pa ako nakapunta ron. Nakapunta ka na ba Miami?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I went for like 2 basketball training camps. So
Yeah. Hindi ka
Sinabi ko
nag-party.
kanina,
lusot
mabayad
to.
ako.
Lusot kay Gento.
Yeah.
Hindi nag-party. Marunong sumagot.
he wants me to say something bad.
Don't fall into that trap, man. Don't
Nah.
fall into that
Yeah,
trap.
Miami's definitely I guess a lot of players want to go there or there.
Oh,
or LA.
in-exclude niya sarili niya. I guess a lot of players.
Yeah, but hey.
Okay, last, eto na. I have to ask Jordan this question also para masama siya sa resibo. The Boston and Orlando series. Is it also a foregone conclusion to you, Jordan, that Boston will emerge in the East? Because Christian, myself, and Migs Gomez, we all believe that it's gonna be Boston in the finals again.
See, I'm gonna be honest. I think the Celtics will emerge, but I personally don't want them to.
Why?
Wala, gusto ko ng iba. Yun lang. I'm just trying to be as honest as possible. Like, I mean, we just saw them win. Like, naturally, if I'm not a Celtics fan, of course I want to see someone else win.
Okay.
Like, I think for me, like, this is, again, bias lang to. I love Brunson because undersized point guard, right? And he somehow can pick the ball up in the lane, do 3 pivots, pump fake, and still find a way to finish or pass. I'm trying to learn from him because, like, I don't have as much patience as he does. So, I think the Knicks and I know New York would explode.
Maganda yan. Second round
My
matchup
gosh.
yan. Oh, Knicks Celtics.
Either way, it's gonna be
it's
gonna
not
be a great
ever.
matchup.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. 3-1 na sila parehas.
My dream is Knicks Warriors in the finals, but I
That would be nice.
I think Celtics will.
That would be nice.
But I wish that's my.
Oh.
I feel like ratings will go through the roof if ever those two markets, grabe, New York and Golden State.
I mean, sorry, I take it back. Hindi pala, walang Lakers sa sinabi niya.
Yeah. Alam mo din eh.
Lakers,
Bumabanat kasi if ever,
sa una,
tapos
he
ikaw
didn't
din,
complain.
magbabacktrack ka rin
Lakers
pala.
Celtics. Malabo na yung Lakers Celtics. 3-1.
So it will be
Tingnan natin.
Minnesota versus Warriors. Yeah, Warriors got a good path to the finals.
Minnesota versus Warriors daw.
Yeah.
Minnesota versus Warriors.
Pasensya na, coach.
Come on, Luka. We need a flu game type Jordan game.
Yeah.
Wala.
Sapatos lang, Jordan. Laro, wala.
Ay, nako. Ay. Puro ay.
All right, we'd like to thank everybody who have stayed with us for the duration of episode 6, which was our very first episode on the show with a guest. So we'd like to thank once again Mr. Jordan Bartlett
Thank you.
for joining us
Love.
and giving us some Tagalog lessons as well
Oo.
dito sa ating programa.
Quickly, no?
Oh.
Paboritong Filipino na pagkain.
Yon.
Quickly, bagan.
Banggaan?
Food.
Pagkain.
Food,
pagkain.
sinigang.
Sinigang.
Pinoy nga. Pinoy nga.
Yes.
Pinoy.
Okay, pero bago tayo magtapos, merong gustong i-clarify ang ating kaibigan na si Coach Christian Luanzon.
Hindi ko
Kasi-
alam ba't ginagawa ko pa to eh. Sige, go.
Okay, sige. Kasi sa mga hindi nakakaalam, nag-viral po kasi to si Coach Christian tungkol sa celebration ni Michael Jordan na hindi ko rin alam kung bakit ang daming nagko-comment na sobrang galit. Guys, relax lang kayo. Huwag kayo masyadong galit sa social media. Masama yan sa health. Okay?
Bad yan.
Okay.
Bad yan. Unang-una, maraming salamat. No? Dahil wala po akong TikTok. At ganun pala yung feeling na mag-trend. I'm not a social media guy. Pangalawa, gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo, mali kayo lahat. Meron talaga. Team of the 90s to.
Mali kayo.
Even though I rooted for the Magic, Penny Hardaway fan. But because they played a lot of the Chicago Bulls during the 90s, and being a fan of Jordan also, the GOAT, okay, meron talaga. Ang diferensya lang, okay, yung kay Jordan, may kasamang dila. Ang pangit
Oo.
naman nun, di ba? Kaya sa akin, ginawa ko lang, parang blowing lang.
So, confirmed.
Meron talaga.
Meron. Ang ginawa ni Jordan.
Direct, pakita mo na ngayon.
Dinilaan
Now na.
niya yung kanyang mga daliri. Okay? Dinilaan
Dila
niya.
yun eh. And if my memory serves me right, which usually I'm right, okay, it was against the New York Knicks, okay, in Madison Square Garden. They were playing away. I think it was like a 3-point play against Charles Oakley. Okay, so after that 3-point play, he was heading to the free throw line. Okay, and then ginawa niya yon. Okay, now, kaya nga siya rare Jordan eh. Bihira niya ginawa yon.
Ayos ba?
Yeah.
Ayan po. So, ayan.
I saw it. I
You
saw
see?
it too.
He knows it too.
Yeah.
He knows it
It's
too.
just not. It's
Born 97 pa to, ha?
Hindi yan masikat pero ginawa niya.
Ginawa
Yeah,
niya.
yeah.
Oh.
Pero sabihin ko lang bago tayo magtapos. Christian,
Ano yan?
tinalo ka ni Jordan. Kasi kung ikaw may 300 plus thousand views sa TikTok, si Jordan may kalahating milyon.
Oh.
Nung sinabi niya na
Anong ginawa
si
niya?
Jennifer Nerva,
Oh, really?
I love of his life. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hindi ko kaya yun.
Diba?
Hindi ko kaya yun.
So hindi lang magaling mag-basketball, di ba?
I mean, hindi ko kaya
Magaling
yung 500,000.
Magaling
di ba?
magmahal.
Oh. Ay, yung magmahal, kaya ko yan.
Too bad coach
Kaya
coach
ko
does
yan.
coach doesn't watch volleyball. We got to take him to a game.
Ayun.
Yeah.
Di ba? I mean, yung magmahal, ano yan, 18 years married, happily married with my wife. And I love her to death. Okay.
Yan. Pengi
Check.
naman yan, guys. Joke lang. Okay.
Sorry, Anton, hindi ka makarelate.
All right, Jordan, anything you want to say again? Thank you so much for
Thank you, Jordan.
This was
coming
a
here
lot
on
of
the show.
fun.
May
This was
game
a
ka
lot
pa
of
mamaya.
fun.
Grabe.
Yeah.
Oh, nag-cut off ka pa. Talagang pinapakita mo yung katawan namin. Kulang eh. No?
Maganda ang lighting kasi. Sakto yung suot ni Jordan.
Flex
Maganda ang
na.
lighting.
Yeah, we have the shadows. Yeah, but maraming salamat. I had a great time with you guys. And I'd like to shameless plug, we're launching the Hoop Jeepney. It's a charity jeepney that we turned into a basketball spectacle. We'll be
Galing.
doing court renovations, free basketball, free sneaker giveaways, fixing rims to as many barangays as
Sneaker
we can
giveaways
all
too.
around the Philippines. So reach out to the hoopbus.ph page on Instagram. We'll be launching in May. So yeah, can't wait to show you guys.
Once
what we
again,
have
thank
cooking.
you, the Montes Sabonis.
Hey, I take it.
Brother, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Love. Thank you guys. Thank you, coach.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat din po sa inyo for keeping on tuning in to our weekly discussions about the NBA with that specific Pinoy flavor. Every Thursday po kami naglalabas ng mga episodes. So for Christian Luanzon, for Jordan Bartlett, I'm Anton Roxas saying keep on supporting us, whether it is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. This has been the Pinoy Step Podcast Sama-sama sa Arena.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Arena Plus Sportsbook, the hosts of the program, or other programs of the network. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.